While they're casting, yep, that's true. They are casting, but maybe the production people coming in from MPLMY or ID could watch this matchup as well.
True.
But we are going to enter the first drafting phase. But before we head on to the heroes, we're going to head on first to our map
They want
randomizer.
flying clouds. They want flying clouds.
I want broken walls.
Broken walls.
What do you give?
It's finally going to be broken walls.
Finally!
There we go!
Finally, it's broken walls. And this is going to be game one for this best of 3 series. We have not seen a drawn out broken walls game so far. This might just be the first one.
Yeah.
I want Johnson.
Hey, it was mentioned in the Howl that JP's hero pool and different styles of play should be a factor in drafting.
Yes.
But so will
Who
the...
said there are no shortcuts?
It's funny how they
in life?
made broken
I
walls with
literally invented
Johnson
one.
really in mind.
Yeah.
Because in the art is him in his car form.
Yep. It's like the entire point of broken walls for them is for Johnson to be part of the meta again, but sadly that didn't work out. Mainly because
yet.
the thing for broken walls right now, it's insane how far you could pull the Lord away from
Yep.
different parts of the map.
Yeah, Lord Dancing is going to be important, so we might see teams really want to bring out a tanky fighter jungler here, which now puts the pressure on to King Kong. Because we know historically, not his best performances when you see him pack heroes such as the Fredrin. So, will we see a Team Liquid surprise with rushing the Fredrin? The Juicin for Sanji is also open, while Onic is weighing whether or not 1-1 should be banned.
Oh my gosh.
And now the 1-1 is open for Liquid as well. It's
For
like
the first time
my
ever.
for the first time ever, for the first time in a long time as well. Will Liquid bite the bait and pick up a 1-1?
There you go. The
my
Filipino sniper takes the 1-1 for himself. And for the first time in Season 16, there are a lot of firsts today. Not only did Falcons win after 4 weeks, now after 5 weeks of MPL, we see the 1-1.
Oh my goodness. And King Kong, on the other hand, secures the Lancelot for himself. And even the Jushin. So these are such strong first picks.
I hope he uses the M2 skin.
Hey.
That'll be tight.
That'd be tight.
That'll be tight if we actually see the M2 skin on the hands of King Kong instead of Carl Teasy. I'm pretty sure people here have a wish list of being able to see all the champion skins shared between these two, M2 and M4 for Liquid. Well, of course, the M2 skin for Carl Teasy specifically. But going back to the draft, let's see if Sanji's going to show already a Farsa or if they're going to utilize some surprise angles that they can play around the broken walls by picking up a low Yi later on in the draft if they're not going to pick it up in the mid lane just yet. They go for their EXP pick, they get it into the hands of Sanford. So even if Kirk wants to be active into the EXP lane matchup, really wants a duel, not a lot can duel hard into the Uranus, except for a pick that's still open, which is the Esmeralda.
Yeah, the Phoebus is still there too for Onic Philippines, if they do want to consider that, since it has been a while since we've seen the 1-1 come back into play, but
It does trigger his passive a lot, and Uranus at some point, actually, it's a tough matchup for him to go up against a Phoebus in lane because the Phoebus damage actually outscales the sustainability that the Uranus can bring to the table.
Yeah, and that Phoebus is going to be a big menace as well against this 1-1 and the Yisun Shin. A lot of dashes already locked in, but they're going to go for the Khalid instead. And then when we go back to Brusco's performance in the M series, this was also one of the heroes right in the pocket of Brusco, now back in the rotation of the meta.
So now we have to watch out for the picks of Onic, especially in the EXP lane, because then they could back it with heroes that can quickly rotate out of that lane to apply pressure into the jungle of Carl Teasy. Team Liquid's EXP laner does not have a lot of crowd control. So if Onic picks up someone who can quickly clear up lane, has strong crowd control so that they can pressure Carl Teasy's YSS in the jungle, then that should be the best pick. I think they should also look into banning the Gatot Kaja as an option for JP if Onic are not going to pick it up themselves as a surprise EXP lane pick.
yeah, I think that's another thing we have to look at, because I feel like for recent adjustments that Team Liquid Philippines did in terms of their drafting patterns, it's by making sure that they get the JP pick and that he doesn't run out of options. But right now, they're leaving him for second phase, and Onic seems to really be targeting JP down.
And this Khalid isn't even sure that if it's going to be a roamer, because we did see an XP lane Khalid in the hands of James in our first series today, this Superfan Saturday. So there's really no assurance that this is going to be a roam Khalid.
they can further limit it down if they deny
For the
any
ultimate
other
answer.
picks that still can be available. Now even taking out the Hilda.
Yeah, could have been a roam choice there for JP. That's just straight up massive respect for JP. But there is still one pick in the roam that, if Onic aren't careful, will actually mess them up. If JP shows up with a Kufra suddenly, it's going to be a different story here a little bit for Onic.
Yeah, now what do you use against this 1-1? The reason as to why this 1-1 is so strong in lane is it's just so independent. It's so safe, and it dominates lane the moment that you give it edge.
Yeah, I would have thought of an Irithel, but will it be that reliable in this lineup?
I was thinking that too, but I don't think the Irithel would be as reliable as we want it to be, considering that if they show an Irithel here, then they can pack a Gatakacha Roma, Uranus EXP. Both will have Vengeance, and both will make the Irithel cry.
And I guess the choice here for now would be the Lunox to reset that crossbow of Tang with the bright,
brilliance.
the brilliance. Sorry,
It is bright.
It is bright.
It is bright. You know, sometimes it is what it is.
And it's a great answer to the Uranus, I still feel like.
I think Sanji gets his Farsa. If it's not going to be the Farsa, I reckon it's the Low Yi. Then JP gets either Gatakacha or Kufra. If they want to match the rotational speed, they can go for the Cho as the roam. But then again, single target lockdown, you'll need to pair it up with Burst. Oh, Sanji can even go Kadita as an option.
Hey. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Wow.
Still pick off.
All right, actually, no, yeah. Oh, very greedy is the lineup of Liquid.
I agree.
Very, very greedy.
This is a triple marksman setup for Team Liquid Philippines, something that we have not seen since week 1 of MPL, or if I'm being honest, the last time that I saw this was in MSC 2025. And with a Franco and a Uranus, they do buy themselves a bit of space and a bit of protection if ever this Lancelot does have a field time puncturing in and out. But it really depends on how JP plays around his positioning and lands his hooks. Right now with the final pick here, Onic Philippines, that Phobius is still available to take if you are Kirk.
Yeah, I just want to see something either that can pack Flicker really well or Vengeance really well. Swerve it around, Gatot, Madam. Oh, Glue. Alright, okay, yeah. This I really, really like. The team fighting for Team Liquid Philippines isn't going to be as straightforward. However, since they have a triple core set up, Onic really need to be on top of being able to help Kirk out when he decides to initiate alongside Brusco. If their timings are off, it'll be easy for Oheb and Sanji and even Carl TZ to get away from harm's way. And now Onic are fighting a scrambled team lineup, which they do not want.
And so far here in game number 1, we're already seeing a lot of peculiar lineups set up for each other here. For Team Liquid Philippines, we are seeing a triple marksman setup with Yeeson Shin, Kimmy, and a 1-1 for the first time ever in Season 16. Meanwhile, for the side of Onic Philippines, no marksman at all. And you're going to give Kelra a Lunox to fight against off that 1-1. Welcome to the Golden Rivalry. It's a battle between the two world champions, the defending MSC champion CLPH goes up against Onic Philippines, the defending MS Series World Champions. Let's enter game 1. What can we expect if you're in the game?
Mobile Legends.
We're going to be looking first at how well the matchup is dealt between the Lunox and the 1-1, because there is a small margin of error where if Kelra messes up his first trade in the minion waves, then Oheb's going to be able to push him back. He'll force the Inspire on himself to bring Kelra low, force out the regen, and then bring it for round 2 where the 1-1 will have an advantage. That's why you actually see the Lunox holding close, while JP, great disruption onto King Kong, being able to hook him back.
Both roamers have successfully caused some sort of disruption towards the enemy jungler. An iron hook from JP, and Brusco actually forced Carl TZ out of his purple buff, but they were able to secure it still nonetheless. And I'm liking how careful these teams are so far, because you cannot be putting yourself in a dangerous position knowing that there is a Khalid roam on the opposite side.
Both of these teams are rabid dogs. The moment that you slip up in the early game, they're not going to let up. They're going to bite you down, and then they're going to force the narrative against you. Onic Philippines is NTLPH just playing it carefully right now in the first few minutes of the game. You do not want to slip up at this part.
Yeah, you see, quite conservative, but now with Kelra finding a little bit of an inch of advantage, now we'll push in the pressure there. This is actually a debut pick, 3 of them for Team Liquid, a debut pick on the Franco for JP, the 1-1, and the Uranus.
Yeah, surprisingly, JP's being a really annoying Franco here though. Like, those iron hooks which he gets to land on the creeps already allows them to reset. And I don't know if the broken walls have something to do with it, but he gets to always bring them out of range. So somehow it does affect King Kong and how fast he's able to farm up, but at least for now, they're still pretty much equal.
And this is going to be the first turtle of the game. No clear advantage yet so far for both teams here, but great poke damage coming in from King Kong. And maybe after this purple buff for both junglers, we might be able to see a big turtle fight. It looks like they're going to go for Sanford first.
Okay, that's the Purify. That's the ultimate already used, rather. Doesn't have a way out unless, there you go, he has the flicker still, and he will remain alive.
Yeah,
and the
good
turtle.
cover.
And the turtle is continued here for Onic Philippines. This might just be an extended team fight. Carl Teasy with a mounted shocker as well.
Look at these broken walls, greatly affecting the flow of the fight. King Kong gets the turtle and Carl Teasy will fall. The grab is also committed on to multiple members here of Team Liquid Philippines. No one left except Sanford. And of course, Oheb, who's just alone up top.
Massive gold swing though. Onic Philippines now ahead by 1.5k. Sanford trying to look for something here. Might just find King Kong, but King Kong finds him first. And that's going to be a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, massive trade there. It actually began because Super Prince was able to find the perfect angle for the Crimson Beacon. Team Liquid Philippines slipped up on their positioning after Sanji got a beautiful traction pulse to what looked like start things off very well for Team Liquid. But great assessment of the situation by Super Prince the moment he committed the Crimson Beacon.
As we head on back to this game, Onic Philippines still in the lead at around 2,000 gold 3 minutes in.
Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest parts about this lineup of Team Liquid, at least for the early to mid stages of the game. So much has to be done by Sanford for them to last long enough in a fight.
Yep.
And so much still has to be farmed up by Carl Teasy, Sanji, and Oheb.
Yeah. Because of the very greedy nature of the lineup of Team Liquid Philippines, it's also understandable to see that Onic will be taking the lead as long as that they can give the Uranus problems early on and then find Carl Teasy early. Onic can just continue to play this very cleanly, very methodical. At some point, though, they're going to have to respect the potential turnaround factor around the 1-1 and the Franco together. And if ever Sanji does become a more difficult target for Onic Philippines to catch, but it's gonna be a while until we get there. Onic can just keep this up.
So maybe for now, it's really just limiting what Onic could potentially get in the early stages. It's limiting the snowball if you're Team Liquid Philippines, because there's not much you can do. Oheb finds the stacks on Keller though, but doesn't use the crossbow of time, or he actually doesn't have it. Now Brusco, will he get to finish the kill? Maybe not for now.
Yeah, there was already a trade-off between these two marksmen up top in the gold lane. I feel like the crossbow of time was used, but that did force out the brilliance coming in from Keller as well. And with this, the second turtle is already spawned. Slight advantage here for TLPH, but Sanford might just be caught.
Once more, will this mean that Sanford doesn't get to survive? JP though finds an iron hook, but it's gonna be on Brusco, who still has the flicker and the quick sand guard.
Yeah, Liquid needs to let go of this. Onic are just gonna be able to get this without a problem. Carl Teasy backs off.
The Apex Predator a bit too forward there in his XP lane. And this is the nature of the lineup between a Glue and a Uranus. I've recently found out from a Glue expert around the global tier that a Uranus matchup isn't really a winning matchup against a Glue, but you just wait for your allies and you deliver that Uranus to them.
And it seems like Kirk has manipulated the laning phase so that Sanford would just keep thinking about pushing forward. And with those two early deaths, Liquid and Sanford need to readjust how they play this game if they want to make sure that Onic doesn't run away with this with like a 7,000-8,000 gold lead in the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is such a great start for Kirk and his return on the Glue, limiting so much of what Sanford is able to do. But Brusco goes in though, gets to dodge the Starlium Beam, but not the bloody hunt from JP. That is going to be a pickoff for Team Liquid Philippines, but Super Prince and Kirk are still trying to fight this. There goes the traction pulse once more, and the damage gradually being enough. The grab is committed onto Oheb, but he's just going to bring him further behind. Brilliance also forced out by Sanford on Kelra. There goes the Chaos Assault, but will they still go for the chase? He's under the turret already, but JP, he finishes off the kill with an iron hook.
And JP from downtown, but King Kong going in for the flank. That's 3 punctures in, make that 4, make that 5. He's gonna find JP with the Winter's Crown. Saves him for a while. It seems like he's gonna be able to stay alive.
He still gets to walk away safely, even despite that perfectly positioned Thorned Rose. But then again, who would have thought that he already had the Winter Crown?
JP, oh my god, you had that and then you still got away? Bro, that was 3 key hooks in that long sequence. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Onic Philippines just slipped up at one moment. But even more so, JP found 3 brilliant hooks.
Yeah, I don't know if it was also the passive that came into play that allowed him for JP to deal that much damage.
Yeah,
But
Wasteland.
it was the Wasteland Force maybe that helped them get to take the kill on Kelra.
Body didn't even move, but look at that. King Kong might just be in trouble. Ohab, half HP. JP misses that hook, and looks like Sanford looks to be the next target here.
He did miss it, but barely. I feel like King Kong also got a bit nervous there. But Oheb will still have to regain some of his HP back if they do want to fight this 5-on-5, because these are 5 members of Onic Philippines, and Carl TZ is not anywhere near. So they might have to let go of this objective, and we'll just try to fight a bit more instead. Sanford might be the target here, but will just be able to return under the turret. Oh, wait, they actually want to go for more! Hold on, Sanji doesn't survive! King Kong used the Retribution just to take the kill, and even the tier 1 in mid will not last long.
And just when you thought that the fight was over, Onic Philippines, they find another angle, and they go in with a Raging Sandstorm.
Perfect entry there by Kirk. I thought he wouldn't commit it, but he even uses Flicker as well. If you're going to commit a play like that, you have to get a trade, and they did. Sanji even forced his Flicker out to survive, but he didn't. He caused his death. Big win in the middle for Onic as they were able to push the tower there as well.
And so far for TLPH, the gold lead against Onic Philippines. They're still down by 2,000. This was up by 3,000. Minor slip up there meant Onic Philippines went back to 2,000. But throughout this entire time, this man, Super Friends, has been able to calm everything down for the side of Onic Philippines, and that's the Infinix GT30 experience victory for every Madlang gamer.
By the way, quick item update. Kelra already has the Divine Glaive. He decided to rush into it. So now Team Liquid Philippines will, hopefully one of them sees that. Because Kelra, with that item, means that he'll just be able to completely shred through Sanford very quickly. And even the squishier members of Team Liquid Philippines will feel the pain. That's the power spike that you're looking for if you're the Lunox. So, Team Liquid, they now have to start really talking amongst themselves, JP and Sanford mainly, about when to engage. Because if you decide to engage in one, you have the Khalid and the Lancelot to watch out for.
Oh no! Speaking of engage, the Bloody Hunt is committed onto Kirk, but the Raging Sandstorm will be there too. However, the damage from TLPH is seemingly overwhelming for Onic. That's a double kill for Sanji right there.
And yet another clutch Winter's Crown comes in from Daddy JP. Cancels out the glue ultimate, but King Kong is looking for more. The Iron Hook doesn't land, and finally the First Lord spawns. Onic is still up by 1.7. Renmar, what's the game plan here for both teams?
Oh, JP is cracked. So for Team Liquid Philippines, you have to move forward. Someone has to hold the shrubs up top near that BPI logo, while Sanji is holding perfectly. Just keep that there. You're fine. Hold on to that bush. So now later on, Onic, let's see if they're going to open the map or decide to full commit. It's a full commit. They can't just all be here. They need to try and send someone through mid so that they can pincer together.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Kirk!
What a well-timed hook! But the answer from Brusco, we have the crossbow of tag from Oheb is gonna land. Sanford will have to flicker out just to survive, but Carl TZ and Sanji are dealing enough damage. Traction Pulse will not connect, but Flicker Iron Hook 2 will not connect, but Onic are able to run away, yet TLPH are in full control of the Lord.
And that was a 1K gold lead ahead for Onic Philippines, but they clutch hook secures the Lord for TLPH. First Lord of the game goes to the head of the GOAT, Carl TZ.
Oh man, JP, he just continues to shut the haters up. Hook after hook. And then that even forced the Thorn Rose out of King Kong so that he gets an iframe. Oh my goodness, JP, what is going on?
Man, a lot of players have stepped up today, and it seems in game one, JP is the man to look at for TLPH, and this is going to be the first Lord push of the game. For majority of the early to the mid game, Onic Philippines has held the lead. It was a 2,000, 3,000 gold lead, and with this Lord push, they have not only equalized the game, but they've went in and dealt damage on Onic Philippines.
Oh, are they actually going to fight this? Look at how Carl TZ, without hesitation, just threw out the Mountain Shocker. JP will not get to find a target there, but it was enough to push Onic back and potentially Team Liquid Philippines to really take control of the map right now.
Yeah, Team Liquid Philippines did a terrific job of just being able to farm up. Sanji's 5-2-1. So now Onic Philippines, as we were discussing earlier, a lot of options to go for.
That was an iron hook which landed, if not for the spread, I feel.
Yeah.
So, fortunately for Kirk, he survives that. Okay, so Onic might be able to breathe a bit more for now.
And finally, both junglers reach level 15 here by 11:40. And after 10 minutes of suffering for TLPH, they finally get the gold lead to 1.5k in their favor. But looking at the Infinix in-game equipment right now, Renmar, looking at the two top-tier junglers that we have, it's still King Kong up top by 200 gold.
Yeah, Glue doesn't have the Radiant Armor yet for Kirk, as he decided to go for a bit of a chop suey build. Dominance Ice was his rush, and then he went Dreadnought, and then he built the robe as well. So there's no real full component to deal with the damage of the Kimmy. Later on, we're going to start seeing Radiant Armors and Blade Armors on the side of Onic, which actually shuts down those 3 carries for Liquid. However, it just sort of mitigates what the 1-1 can do. One of the problems is Onic doesn't have that surefire burst that can easily get the 1-1. Kelra has to put himself in harm's way. King Kong has to put himself in harm's way just to make sure that they can get damage off on Ohem. But Team Liquid are holding the formation so well every team fight, and Sanji so hard to reach that it's so tough to do.
Concealed play here for Onic. Nice Mountain Shocker coming in from TLPH for some information. King Kong forced to go out with a Phantom Execution, and it seems that Sanford will be giving vision for TLPH 30 seconds before the second Lord of the game spawns. In terms of objectives, Turtles have worked out for Onic Philippines, but for TL, the Lords have been in their favor.
Yeah, you're really starting to see this formation of Team Liquid Philippines. They're holding on to this, and JP is just so reliable. He needs to stick to the members who need to survive. That Bloody Hunt can potentially set a very important kill, or either be the reason that their members or one of their most crucial carries are able to live.
What I like about the item build here of Sanford is that he decided to rush the Oracle. Wait!
Oh, hold on, JP though. Really low now. The grab will land. The Phantom Execution too. Will Ohem find his stacks? Will he still find his stacks? JP will fall, but Sanji! He finds the kill on King Kong! Sanford decides to go in, and my oh my, Onic, they lost their jungler!
And that's the worst part. They have a Lord fight upcoming, and they don't have the Retribution, which means that the GOAT once again secures the Lord for TLPH.
What's up with the Kimmies in the Philippines lately? Sanji on the way to a potential MVP performance for himself as well. 6-2-1. Again, we in the previous patch and heading into this one, we talked that having multiple cores might be a bit too greedy. But with how well Team Liquid Philippines have played around their condition of if the Iron Hook lands through, make sure you commit, then these cores actually got to get their farm so much faster, which meant that now Onic are overloaded with choices. Because if you are the members of Onic, who the hell are you going to target? You take out one carry, there's 2 more to deal with.
Well, the answer begins to be all of them all at once, and it's the hardest thing to do because TLPH has one of the best formations in terms of team fightings, and now the Lord crashes up top. That's going to be one inhibitor turned down. It's not going to land. The Iron Hook as well. It looks like they're going to use the Thorn Rose to go in for the pokes. They find JP.
Oh, now the Bloody Hunt was forced. Immortality already popped. Sanji gets taken down by King Kong, but King Kong might have to sacrifice himself as well. Brusco will be the next target. Ohem still dancing around the members. Quick Sandguard just trying to force some sort of sustain, but it's just a double kill for Carl TZ. Sanford still taking the damage, and somehow, someway, 2-for-2 trades take place across the map.
3 people left in vent here for Onic Philippines, but you still have Kelra and Super Friends. You still have the wave clear, but all of the resources inside the jungle of Onic Philippines will be surrendered to TLPH.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate the killer mentality there of Super Friends. The moment he saw that the hook was used by JP, he decided to commit his Crimson Beacon in damage to the center.
Wait.
Flicker from Kirk.
He got him.
He got away.
But he couldn't do anything. There's the stun from the Mountain Shocker and the damage from Ohem and Carl. Now they're trying to fight back once more, but they have to respect Kelra too. He has damage. Crimson Beacon in from Super Friends, but Carl still finds the kill before eventually getting shut down by King Kong.
It looks like Sanford and Ohem, they want blood. They want blood. Kelra is the first victim, but the light is there to guide him back home. And the hook lands on blood. He eats the 2, and the 1 remains.